3 years ago, I set out to construct the most powerful nootropic stack for focus, motivation, and sheer cognitive horsepower. I logged hundreds of hours, sampled endless amounts of cognitive performance chemicals, and ran beta tests with soldiers from the United States Army. And after massive experimentation and ruthless trial and error, my work had finally paid off. I found what I was looking for.
What's up, everybody? Doing another video in the car. So, I guess this is basically like part 3 or 4 on why nootropics aren't working for people. We did, first couple videos where we talked about cofactors, taking B5 with cholinergics. It seems to be critically important for the synthesis of the neurochemicals that the nootropics work on. And we talked about how interactions could cause you to not notice your nootropics if you're taking something that's a pretty strong antidepressant or sort of a strong downer, strong nervous system sort of inhibitor, or at least like sort of facilitator of GABA or something, which would inhibit some of the excitatory action of the nervous system, like ashwagandha or something, or high dose L-theanine. Then some of the stimulatory cholinergics might not work as well for you. And then one of our subscribers pointed out that he started taking zinc and calcium and magnesium, and then he started noticing nootropics more. They actually started working for him. And so we talked about how calcium is a sort of an excitatory compound, and that it facilitates the good optimal functionality of acetylcholine. A lot of nootropics work on acetylcholine to improve the receptor density or increase the quantity of it, or somehow make it work better. And so now we're going to talk about I guess perhaps part 4 of why nootropics aren't working, and that's underlying health conditions. But to be more specific, it's underlying energy production health problems and otherwise health issues that give you energy issues. I've been working with a guy for some time on the consult package. We talked about this recently, where we've got a $5,000 consult package where we'll make your brain work better. We'll work through whatever it is that's going on in your life and brain. I will pre-build you a nootropic stack that I think is going to work for you based on getting a bunch of answers from questions I asked from you and a bunch of other things. Give it to you, and then consult for 5 additional months thereafter. Email conference, a video conference, these sorts of things. And one of my customers is a growth company CEO, and he. We've been trying a bunch of different things for him, and they really haven't been working. And then, I thought to myself, wait a minute, what if this guy has like subclinical hypothyroidism or something? He went to his doctors, they did blood tests, and there was nothing, wrong with him. But he was tired all the time, massively fatigued. He was getting in the way of his work. He was trying to figure out what was wrong. He thought it was like it's a crisis. It was a crisis for him. And so, I told him, look, man, you ought to really go talk to a functional medicine doctor, and somebody who's going to look at your thyroid, your T3 or T4, rather than just TSH. Like, look a little deeper into the test and identify, and maybe have a different perspective on what is subclinical, or what is abnormal levels of thyroid hormone, thyroid functioning. And he did, and the functional medicine doctor diagnosed him with subclinical hypothyroidism. We were right. We were on target with it. And, the doc gave him a bunch of options, and one of the options was to start taking iodine and selenium. Both of those help the thyroid make thyroid hormone, among other things. And he started taking pretty high dose iodine and like 2x the RDA of selenium. And within about a week, he not only started to feel incredibly better, but the nootropic stacks that we had built for him, he was like, dude, this stuff is amazing. He was raving. He left me 3 voicemails. He's like, this is crazy. I feel incredible, right? Like, he felt good from treating the subclinical hypothyroidism, but then he was able to identify, to feel the nootropics that we were giving him. It's a camera.
Are you lift?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. And that's pretty good. This chick asked me if I was Lyft. that's pretty good to be able to start. Yeah, so he identified the stack that we built for him, and then it started working incredibly for him. And now, like, the guy is just, like, in an incredible place. Brain function's awesome. And look, we identified an issue. We identified, and so the problem with him with not identifying nootropics and the nootropics not working well for him was that he had subclinical hypothyroidism. And it was messing with his energy production, probably his mitochondrial function, a whole bunch of different things, right? How's your brain going to work well if you're not producing energy correctly? You know, the thyroid gland regulates your energy, helps your body to produce energy, among many, many other things. I mean, I in reading about it and trying to understand it, because I have my own, I actually was diagnosed recently with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. That's how I was thinking, like, dude, maybe you don't have a thyroid issue. It's much more complex than people think, and God, it is involved in a whole lot of things. So that's the major point. What major health problem do you have that's preventing you from identifying nootropics? Do you have something that's subclinical? Subclinical means that in the traditional medical establishment, their measurements, their levels and measurements might not identify that you've got a particular disease state. You know, your thyroid stimulating hormone is perfectly perfect, but you've got all the symptoms of hypothyroidism. Like, that's a red flag you might want to look a little further into. You might want to talk to a functional medicine doctor, etc. So I suspect that there are many other underlying conditions that are similar to this. Chronic fatigue syndrome might be one of them, where the mitochondria and the cells is not functioning correctly. So how are you going to get good energy when ATP production and mitochondria has gone awry? You're not, right? So you have to address that thing, fix it, and then, you know, like this growth company CEO that we're consulting, you're going to start noticing nootropics, and the guy's leaving me voicemails telling me, like, thank you for giving my life back. And this is something his doctors couldn't do. So this is the beauty of biohacking, and the beauty of, you know, trying to figure out what the hell's going on in your body, and the beauty of getting to the right thing. You know, like if your oil needs to be changed and you're trying to change like a tire, it's not going to work, dude. You got to change the oil, and only then can things be fixed. So I would say, you know, if folks are having issues with nootropics, and here's another reason why they're not working, yeah, you've got something wrong in your body that's not allowing you to produce the neurochemicals in response to the chemicals that you might be taking. You know, it isn't allowing you to produce ATP correctly, you know, and or somehow is like dysregulating your entire metabolism and metabolic functioning, so you don't notice nootropics. You got to get a hold of whatever that is, and I guarantee you, if you do, and if it isn't any of the other three things, cofactors you might need to take with nootropics, taking minerals with nootropics, and then other things interacting with your nootropics, making them not work, it could be some underlying health condition. You ought to get a hold of that. Thanks for watching.